The Heavenly Feathered Robe. Long ago, in the ancient province of Suruga, in the village of Miho no Matsubara, there lived a fisherman by the name of Hakuryo. One day, as he was walking along the beach, he was aware of a lovely fragrance coming from somewhere. Well now, he wondered, where could this be coming from? When Hakuryo looked around, he saw a beautiful robe hanging from the branch of a pine tree nearby. Every time a breeze arose, it looked exactly as if a white bird had perched on the branch. Hakuryo quickly climbed the pine tree and took hold of the robe. It was as soft as feathers and sparkled in the light of the sun. I've heard stories about things like this, Hakuryo thought to himself. Could this be a robe of one of the heavenly beings? Hakuryo tucked the robe under his arm and climbed down from the tree. He could not even think any more about fishing that day, and so started to walk away from the beach and return home. "Excuse me," a woman's voice came from behind him. "Would you wait just a moment, please?" When Hakuryo looked around, there stood a woman so beautiful that it seemed as though he was waking from a dream. "That is my robe," she said with a troubled look. "Would you please return it to me?" "No," replied Hakuryo. "This is something I just found." "Please don't say that," the woman continued politely. "The scenery here is just so beautiful that I had to take off my robe and hang it on that branch for a moment and walk along the beach. Without my robe I cannot return to heaven." "So you are in fact a heavenly being," Hakuryo said, tucking the robe under his arm even more securely. "Now that I know it's the robe of a heavenly being, I'll never give it back. Whether it's yours or not, it's something that I found on my own, and I'm going to make it a family heirloom." "But this robe is no use to human beings," the woman said, on the verge of tears. "Please, please return it to me. Can't you see that I'm begging you?" "No, I'm not giving it back," Hakuryo stated stubbornly. "This is mine." At this, the heavenly being's eyes filled with tears, and she covered her face with her hands. "Ooh, what can I do?" she moaned. "Without my feathered robe, I cannot return to heaven, nor can I live in this place. All I can do is die." With this, the heavenly being cried so hard that her shoulders shook. Gazing upon the sobbing figure of the heavenly being, Hakuryo, as hardened a man as he was, began to feel sorry for her. "I understand," he began. "I'll give the robe back to you. When I see you like this, my chest wells up with pain." When she heard these words from Hakuryo, the heavenly being suddenly took her hands from her face, almost as if in shock. "Will you really do that?" she exclaimed. "Then I'll be able to return to heaven with no trouble at all." And her face shone almost in laughter for the first time. "But in return I have one request," Hakuryo added. "I have heard that the dance of the heavenly beings is beyond compare. Would you then at least demonstrate this dance for me?" "That is easily done," the heavenly being replied, "but first, the robe." "No, no," said Hakuryo, holding the robe back behind him. "First things first, if I give you the robe, you'll just go back to heaven without showing me your dance." "That is not true," the heavenly being retorted with a grim, almost frightened expression. "There are no lies in the world of heavenly beings. Suspicion and lies belong only with heavenly beings." Hakuryo immediately felt ashamed and nervously handed the robe over to the heavenly being. The heavenly being then put on the robe and began to dance with astonishing tranquility. Each time she moved, a fragrance filled the air, and the feathered robe sparkled in the sunlight. Hakuryo, meanwhile, lost all memory of where he was and what he was doing. He could only gaze at this beautiful dance, as if in a daze. As the heavenly being danced, she gradually rose into the sky until she had ascended beyond the pine branches. Then she disappeared completely into the mist.